Hello, welcome back to our channel, The Catalyst, our home of all solutions. So we are going to continue with June 2025 Advanced Level Computer Science Paper 3. We will try to answer the section B. In our previous lessons or class, we did correction, or we answered section A on database. So today we are going to answer section B on programming, and we are going to choose as programming language C. Okay, so we have, this is the program development. It's a program on what we call, we are going to program on what we call the game of life. Okay, game of life. In a game of life, we are to deal with a cellular automation which involves life and dead cells within a grid, and there are some rules to respect. So we can see here, this is the initial, for instance, this is the initial grid, and then this is a generated grid. Okay, and what are the rules for a cell to be either live or dead? The first one is that any cell, live cell with fewer than 2 live neighbors dies as if caused by underpopulation. Second is any cell, any live cell with 2 or 3 live neighbors lives on to the next generation. The third is any live cell with more than 3 live neighbors dies as if by overpopulation. And then the fourth is any dead cell with exactly 3 live neighbors becomes a live cell as if by production. So we can see the example here. A live cell is a cell that contains 1, and a dead cell is 0. So further descriptions of the arrays we have here. We are going to have, for the live cell, we'll take a 2 by 2 array called A, and then for the next generation we'll have another 2 by 2 array called B. So I don't have time to be reading all of these. I will dive directly into the question, which is we are to write a subprogram row underscore line that draws a horizontal line of dashes as follows. It outputs a new line, then for each column outputs the 5 dashes. It then outputs a second new line. Okay, so to do that, we are going to dive into Dev C++. That's the compiler I'm going to use, or the IDE I'm going to use to write our programs. Did I not? Okay, finally, this is it. So this is Dev C++. So we'll create a new file. Start with so we start with our library, the standard input-output library, which contains all. We are going to have our main program, our main. Okay, so let's start with our subprogram. Row underscore line, which will help us to draw those grids each time you enter before entering a value, whether life or death, it should generate those scripts. Okay, so to do that, we are going to create a procedure. So we are going to have void as a procedure, and the procedure is this. That is our procedure, which will also declare our counter I. The counter will help us to loop. Okay, to loop. Okay. We are going to have our loop will start from I equals to 0. Okay, so we are dealing with and then I less than column. For each column we'll draw the grid. Okay, so and then each time we will increment by 1. So what we'll do is we are going to create a global variable for I. I think it will be better that way. We are going to make global variable column and rows, which will represent the column and the row. So those are the global variables. Now for each loop, what you will do is it's going to print each time we loop, it's going to print 5 lines. That's what the question says. 5 dotted lines here, like this. These are the 5. And then once it's done that, at the end of the loop, it will now go to a new line. Sorry. Okay. So have this. Okay. So that is it about the program. As simple as that. It will print the 5 dots for each column. Each column will print 5 dotted lines. Enter the information, print 5 dotted line, enter, and then go to a new line. Going to the new line is a new row. Okay. So that is what we will do for the first question. Let's move to the next question. And our next question is we have to implement the random number generator given in figure 2, which is here. We can all see it here. This is the code. They have given us a code which we are going to use, and that random function, it's going to be called run init, which takes in as parameters s in order to initialize the random number generator. Similarly, you will also later call on randy. So what we'll do is we are just going to follow what they have given us, this code they have given us here. So let's move on. Let's move. So we will just follow what they have proposed here. Oh my God, this shows that I have to reduce. I have to write my code along line here, alongside the question paper. Okay, so let's follow. The first thing is that we'll declare a global variable. They said run seed should be a global variable. So we use we'll define run underscore seed 7. Okay, declaration of a global variable. Then we are going to define this global variable as what we see here. Okay, so for the definition of the global variable, we'll say run x receive run seed. So run x is also going to be a global variable which we can just add here. It's an integer. So run X should receive so we continue. So we'll now declare our functions. The first function is the run init, okay, to initialize the so we'll just say int okay, the first thing also is that we have to initialize the values of our columns. If we have to follow what is here, initially we'll have 4 rows and 4 columns. So it's better for me to just initialize it 4 rows and 4 columns. And then I will move on to my function now. Run init. Is it run init? Yes, it's not even a function, it's a procedure. So run underscore init, which I'll take in S. Okay. So inside now, what is the content of run init? What are we going to have? Run underscore X will receive S. Okay, we'll receive S. Then we move to the next function, which is the random function. This function will help us as run NO. It will help us to generate random numbers. Okay. Randomize our function, our breadth, randomize it with values between 1 and 0. So we have run X again, run underscore X equals to 5 times. I'm just trying to convert the pseudocode to a programming language, C. Okay, so that's it. So that's the code. The next thing is to return what did I say? Return in brackets run X modulus 2, not 12. That's a mistake, because it's supposed to generate 0 or 1, so it cannot be 12. If you put 12, it means you are generating from 0 to 11, whereas it's supposed to be 0 or 1. So it's supposed to be this mode 2. Okay, that's a correction to make there. So I think we have done question 3. In our next video we'll move to question 3. Okay, we've done question 2. So thank you very much. See you later, and do not forget to subscribe if you have not yet done so. Like our videos, share them, and comment.